President Xi lauds the late leader Jiang Zemin's contributions at its birth centenary commemoration. New measures simplify clearance for residents traveling between borders, including the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge Port. And the U.S. commander praises leadership of USS Lincoln amid questions about mental health conditions. Good evening. Welcome to TVB News. The birth centenary commemoration of late leader Jiang Zemin was held at the Great Hall of the People this morning. President Xi Jinping, also General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, delivered a speech and urged the party to emulate Jiang's unwavering political faith, deep commitment to the people, far-sighted strategic vision, and the audacity of his resolute and decisive leadership. Dominating the center of the commemorative conference was a giant portrait of Jiang Zemin, under which President Xi and other top leaders filed into the venue. The national anthem was played and sung. Xi retrospected Jiang's enduring legacy and hailed him as an outstanding leader who held unrivaled prestige across every echelon of the party, the military, and all ethnic people. Xi framed Jiang's life as both glorious and combative for his indelible contributions in successfully steering socialism with Chinese characteristics into the 21st century. The president referenced the 1989 Tiananmen Square turmoil in his address. He noted at the time, Jiang aligned with the Central Command to maintain stability in Shanghai and was entrusted with a fateful appointment to the helm of the party and the military. Xi underscored the imperative to emulate Jiang's rock-solid political conviction. In the storm of shifting global landscapes, alongside severe domestic political unrest of the late 1980s and early 1990s, Jiang stood unwavering in keeping economic development as the nation's core anchor. Xi also said Jiang held the line on the four cardinal principles, navigated reforms and rectifications, while pushing back on the diplomatic front to defend China's independence, dignity, security, and stability. Turning to the issues of Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, Xi lauded Jiang's visionary strategic mind for orchestrating the smooth handovers of Hong Kong and Macau and steering both sides of the Taiwan Strait toward the 1992 consensus, which embodies the One China principle. Xi further urged the leadership to learn from Jiang's immense political fortitude, particularly when he marshaled the nation's forces to weather the tides of the Asian financial crisis and clinch a comprehensive victory against the devastating floods in 1998. All of these, as Xi put it, acted as the ultimate ballast enabling China's reform and opening up, as well as socialist modernization, to forge ahead and make steady long-term progress. Xi pointed out that they must heighten awareness of potential risks and establish bottom-line thinking to better balance development and security on the new journey, and actively tackle challenges with a tenacious spirit of struggle. He drew upon a poem by Jiang. The grand vista has been created through innumerable trials, just as all achievements are carved from enduring toil, to inspire a relentless drive for creating a better life for the people and writing a more historic chapter for the Chinese nation. The assembly was marked by the presence of a number of former party and state leaders, including Wen Jiabao, Zhang Dejiang, Li Zhanshu, Li Lanqing, Li Changchun, Zhang Gaoli, Yu Zhengsheng, Jia Qingling, Wang Yang, Zheng Guohong, He Guoqiang, and Wang Qishan. Former CCP General Secretary Hu Jintao was absent. The commemoration capped off as the stirring strains of the Internationale filled the hall. The joint inspection at one-time released immigration clearance mode for travel between Macau and the Hengqin port, Qingmao port, as well as the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge port, is set to be refined at midnight. Starting tomorrow, Hong Kong permanent residents and Macau residents only need to provide their mainland travel permits once to complete the cross-border process. Under the new measure, residents simply have to use their mainland travel permit to access both the mainland and Macau. The same measure applies to motorists traveling via the Hengqin port. This as the three cross-border ports recorded 42 million travelers in just the first half of this year. With around 235,000 travelers crossing the ports each day, that figure grew by 12.8% compared with the same period last year, with Macau residents making up 43.8% of such travelers, while their Hong Kong counterparts made up just 2.2%. Speaking about the recent rehearsals at the Hong Kong side of the Huanggang port, Secretary for Security Chris Tang says the events revealed areas that require improvement at the facility, which was subsequently handled. He stresses the port building will only be opened once clearance tests reach satisfactory levels. Timothy Lee has more.
Two large-scale rehearsals at the newest Hong Kong side of the Huanggang port were held earlier this month, with a total of 6,000 civil servants having participated in the events. Secretary for Security Chris Tang notes the rehearsals were largely smooth, but some improvements are still necessary.
So far, we have two major rehearsals on the 13th and the 15th of August. We have aimed to test under the stress, can the public transport interchange handle the traffic, and also the immigration and also the custom counter, can they handle such a volume of people. And so far, the test is satisfactory, but of course we have observed a few points that we can further improve. For example, the notice about the direction and also how to line up for the people to wait for the buses.
Tang says the government has already implemented measures to improve lacking areas in the port building's operations. This as authorities will deploy another 10,000 individuals and 1,000 vehicles to take part in another rehearsal at the facility this Saturday. The Secretary for Security mentions all aspects of the facility are still currently being adjusted, adding that its opening date will depend on when the required changes are completed. Tang further says there will be at least one rehearsal in the future, which will involve the participation of Shenzhen authorities. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
A top military commander in the Middle East praises the leadership of the long-deployed USS Abraham Lincoln after visiting the sailors on the vessel during a regional tour. This after US President Donald Trump says record-setting Navy deployment to support Iran operations was not nearly long enough, following reports of mental health and supply issues on board. Gloria Fung has the story.
The U.S. Central Command releases images of Admiral Brad Cooper's visit to the USS Abraham Lincoln during a regional tour that ended on Saturday. Images of Cooper talking to and shaking hands with sailors emerged following allegations of mental health concerns and supply issues on board the long-deployed vessel. More than 240 days at sea since the U.S.-Iran war, the vessel has been supporting U.S.'s efforts, including the blockade on Iranian ports. The visit comes after concerns over extended deployments of the carrier, which can have more than 5,000 sailors and Marines on board. Cooper, a top U.S. military commander in the Middle East, took the opportunity to praise the leadership of SS Lincoln for making mental health and resilience a priority. In a statement, Cooper calls the deployment one of the most operationally intense and consequential of the modern era. Last week, U.S. President Donald Trump said the Lincoln's historically extended deployment was not nearly long enough. Since the report surfaced, the USS George Washington is reportedly being sent to replace the USS Lincoln. This comes at a time of a latest report of a 4-day power outage on board the guided missile destroyer USS Benfold as it was deployed in the South China Sea. The incident last month was due to an engine issue affecting galley services and the supply of potable water, according to Commander Matthew Comer, spokesperson with the U.S. 7th Fleet, as reported in USNI News. The USS Washington was also sent to reinforce that destroyer at the time. Gloria Fung, TVB News.
South Korea's defense ministry says the joint Uji Freedom Shield exercise with the U.S. is proceeding as planned, adding it would provide further updates if there are any developments. This following comments from U.S. President Donald Trump that he had instructed the Pentagon to reduce joint military exercises with South Korea, while condemning the country for its refusal to join actions to denuclearize Iran. Trump writes on Truth Social that he's not happy with the fact that US had long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. He furthers the exercises are costly and sends a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile. This comes at a time when North Korea is becoming increasingly active on the global war scene, with the country sending soldiers to participate in the Ukraine-Russia war. Thousands of people are still waiting for aid on the Indonesian island of Flores as the country celebrates its 81st Independence Day. This after a powerful earthquake last Saturday that killed at least 68 people, injured dozens and damaged hundreds of homes and other buildings. Many residents spent the day mourning victims, searching for loved ones and waiting for aid to arrive to communities still cut off by the deadly quake. More than 1,300 homes were damaged when the quake struck East Nusa Tenggara province on Saturday, with nearly 250 destroyed on Flores alone. Some 5,000 people were forced into temporary shelters and 135 people were injured. The province's governor declares a 14-day state of emergency. And still ahead, stampede during a worship festival kills at least 7 in India. Wildfires continue to rip through Europe, causing a major disruption to nature reserves in Belgium. And visitors seize a final chance to pick up deals on the final day of the Food Expo. Welcome back. A deadly stampede broke out at a Hindu temple in eastern India's Bihar state after a snapped electric wire reportedly triggered panic among worshippers. 7 people have been killed, with dozens more injured. The incident occurred near Ashokdam temple in Lakhisarai district as thousands of devotees gathered to offer prayers on the 3rd Monday of Shravan, one of the holiest months in the Hindu calendar. The period is dedicated to the worship of Hindu god Lord Shiva and is marked by fasting, prayers and colourful monsoon festivals across India. A section of the barricades collapsed under the weight of the surging crowd, leading to a rush in which people fell over one another. Thousands of people in Pakistan took part in nationwide protests and marches organized by the Islamic political party Jamaat-e-Islami against rising fuel prices, high taxes and soaring inflation. The demonstrations on Sunday also highlighted local public concerns and called on the government to provide relief measures for citizens struggling with the rising cost of living. Protesters carried banners and placards chanting slogans against inflation and increasing petroleum prices. Party leaders say the growing economic burden on ordinary people has made it difficult for many families to meet their daily needs. A member of Spain's military emergency unit was killed and 3 others injured Sunday in an accident while fighting a major wildfire in the northeastern province of Huesca. This as firefighters battled a massive wildfire in eastern Belgium Sunday that burned about 30 square kilometers in the High Fens, a large nature reserve. Tracy Furness has more.
Smoke rising from a burnt part of a forest in the High Fens in the eastern city of Vem in Belgium. A wildfire has burnt about 30 square kilometers in the High Fens, in one of the country's worst wildfires in recent history. Firefighters were on hand pouring water on the burnt parts of the forest. About 600 residents in the nearby municipalities of Vem and Birkenbach in Liège province near the German border were told to evacuate Saturday as winds shifted and smoke spread through the area. Authorities also advised tourists to leave while the nearby gymnasium was open to receive evacuees. This is farmers from Germany volunteer their help to the firefighters in Belgium to battle the blaze.
We arrived here for about 5 minutes. We come from Germany, 1.5 hours drive to here. We heard about it from the news, from the fire. We're pumping the water in our vehicle and drive towards the the forest.
J'étais tout jeune.
Local resident Jean-Julien Servet says, I experienced the fires 15 years ago. I was very young, but this time it's really scary because there is smoke. I have a 5-year-old daughter and I'm scared for her. I fear she sees how everything around her is destroyed. I really hope we can bring this fire under control. At least 2 people have been killed in a wildfire Sunday on the Greek island of Salamina, west of Athens. Greek firefighters say the bodies were recovered in the village of Peristeria, where strong winds fueled the rapidly spreading blaze. Some 260 firefighters are responding to the blazes, including 15 ground teams, 10 aircraft and 8 helicopters. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
The court sentences a man to 5 years and 4 months in prison for attempting to murdering his wife and his 3 children after falling $900,000 in debt because of a failed business venture. In June 2024, the defendant laced his family's dinner with sedatives before burning charcoal inside the home. He later decided against those actions and extinguished the flames. The now 45-year-old defendant had pleaded guilty to the 4 counts of attempted murder in the High Court, while Judge Yalta Kong notes that the defendant was suffering from depression and described the incident as a tragedy. His wife and children have reportedly forgiven him. As the Food Expo marks its end, visitors seize the final opportunity to take advantage of special promotions and unique culinary experiences. Andy Zeldin takes a look.
The Food Expo taking place at the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center is coming to an end. The 5-day event saw brands and companies from around 30 countries and regions participating. Some staff members at the booth say they saw a positive boost to sales.
Saturday and Sunday has been key for us. We had a lot of families come through, a lot of people trying our products for the first time, which is our intention. So today's more of the same, really, just making sure that we give people the opportunity to try everything that we've got and promote our brands and serve customers well.
We offer a very exclusive offer like for this platform because we think it's a great opportunity to get to know more our client face to face.
Some of the booths even had items priced as low as $1 to attract customers. A few customers say they are not sure what the price usually is, but would still purchase food items without considering the discount.
I spend a lot, you know. You can see my bag. I spent over 3,000. Not much discount, but it's better than outside to buy.
On the last day of the event, many visitors brought carts and shopping bags. They don't want to leave empty-handed and are taking advantage of the promotions exclusive for the Food Expo. And this is Zeldin, TVB News.
Celebrated lyricist Cheung Kok-kong reinterpreted its timeless melodies as brush and ink works now exhibiting at Tai Kwan and Central. The curator hopes to introduce a new generation to the timeless spirit of cantotop. Celine Chan takes a step into the golden era of cantotop.
To many, Cheung Kok-kong is the very picture of scholarly grace, a lyricist who has penned more than 2,000 songs across decades. Now he marries his own verses with calligraphy and painting.
I never studied the craft of songwriting. Perhaps it was heaven's gift. But painting has held my heart since childhood.
His words distill the very essence of life's philosophies, from love songs to nursery rhymes. Cheung's lyrics have nurtured countless souls and shaped the tiny universes of many children, all because he had always chosen to take the unbeaten path.
I could have painted flowers and birds like my classmates, but I choose cats and frogs instead. In fact, I've spent my entire life delighting in the road less traveled. The kitten's beloved is fish. It meets a little bird that longs to come out, and so yet I love you.
我卻為何偏偏喜歡你。
The exhibition features more than 40 calligraphy and inkwash pieces, offering the public a chance to see the golden era of Cantonese pop music. Many singers who once collaborated with Chiang have also come to revisit that shared nostalgia.
I think it's a very challenging moment for the creative industry in Hong Kong, not just in the Canton pop industry, but also in the film, right? So I think I'm born in the 80s. So I guess for my generation, our responsibility is really to learn from the best in the previous generation and then pass it on the legacy to the next generation. So I think Canton pop is one of the most important elements in the Hong Kong creative industry. So I think that's really our goal to reintroduce this Canton pop to our young audience through this exhibition.
The exhibition is titled Lucky Am I, one of Chiang's most well-loved pieces. Was it the singer's confession or an echo of the audience's thoughts?
I truly feel that luck has always been on my side. The song's lyrics read almost like my own autobiography. I started out as an unknown primary school teacher. If I have attained a modicum of renown today, it is owing to the friends I've met, the students that have crossed my path, and the era that has shaped my days.
After a decade-long interlude since his 2016 exhibition, A Stroll in the Art Garden, Mr. Chiang returns with his new solo exhibition, Lucky Am I, now on view through the 29th of this month. Celine Chan, TVB News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.